Hi, I'm Flutter. I'm outside here thinking about how I handle everything in creating these VR experiences. It's a lot of hats. So let's head inside and talk about that today.
Earlier in the week, I was really working on design, in particular around a book interaction. And I was spending 2 days just thinking about it, sketching out the idea, and then realizing, wow, this is a lot more complicated than I thought originally. So I kind of was getting frustrated and went a little bit too far into the details of fixing the animation of a book opening that I had found. I wanted to fix the binding to match the number of pages. And I was really struggling with it. And it's like hours just kept going by. And I was getting more frustrated and wasn't even getting a start on the actual development of the coding and stuff. And so I needed to take a break. So what I did is I decided I'm going to take this low poly stylized character design course that I had been wanting to take for a while. Even though I am really good at Blender, I'm not in it every day and I want to get faster at it. And I thought, well, this will be good because it's like exercising. You got to use it or you'll lose it. I really feel that way. Also, I thought, well, this could be a quick win for me. I'm struggling on this complicated interaction that I know I have to get to and accomplish. But, I need a win somewhere to make me feel good and keep me going with the project. And when you have that, you're motivated and you feel good. So find something that's easier for you to do for your project that can just give you some happiness and in good spirits to keep moving forward. Also, it gives you a break and you might be able to figure those issues out because you gave your mind a break. When I'm in development mode, I'm often using an AI tool, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude AI, and that helps me code complex interactions or fix any bugs. So I may be just doing a lot of troubleshooting or optimization of my game. And so I can consider all of those tasks to be under development. And I heard a term recently called vibe coding. And I guess that's what it means if you are talking to ChatGPT, for example, about the logic of what you want to do and the functionality you're trying to create in your game. And you speak through it and you talk to the the computer, the AI about it. And then that's when they come up with either the solution or the code for you. And so it's like this back and forth conversation, and people are starting to call that vibe coding. So I guess I'm a proud vibe coder over here. but I feel like I do have foundational knowledge, and it's not like I can't read it. It's not like I can't tell when AI is hallucinating and getting something wrong. So I think some people have been saying vibe coding is a negative, but hey, I think it's the future and it's getting me through this game as a solo indie dev. Development and design are those two main categories, but other categories that I often start putting onto my Miro board task list are things like QA and testing. Maybe I'll have a whole list of bugs and marketing. There's always a big marketing list. And then I really like having a column that says done. Because when the done column starts getting really big and you're seeing things get completed, it really feels nice. So I do start making a lot more subcategories out of those main two. A productivity tip that I want to suggest is using a timer, something like Clockify, which is what I use to time each of my different tasks. And what's great about recording the time on all my tasks is that I can tell how long something takes. I can tell how long it takes me to model a certain model, animate something, how long it takes for me to work on a specific interaction, to code something. And so when I do know how long different things take me, I can better plan for how long a certain part of the game is going to take, or maybe the entire game. Like, is it going to take me 3 months? Is it going to take half a year? Is it going to take the full year? So when I time myself, that really helps me to learn where I'm fast, where I'm slower. So it also helps me know where my gaps are and where my strengths are. Clockify is not sponsoring this video. Let me just say that right now. However, I love using it. And it also helps me to price any projects for clients because I know how long all these different tasks take. So I could better quote someone on a project that they inquire about. When I did start doing this at first, sometimes I would get a little stressed because I knew the clock would be running. But don't let that bother you. Just don't think about it because really you're just trying to get a sense of the time. It doesn't have to be exactly accurate unless it's for a client. So really just use that clock so that you have a good gauge of your time, and it'll just help you stay on track. When all of this becomes too much, I take a break. I either go on a walk with my friend or I love to roller skate. I have a little room where I just roller skate and try to learn how to dance on roller skates. I'm not very good yet, but that's okay. I just really enjoy it. And what's nice about this is that it gives me that space away from the project and my mind can like marinate in all the different ideas and what I'm working on. And it's amazing because sometimes something will just pop into my mind, a solution randomly because I'm calm and I'm just doing something else and I'm letting that part of my mind rest. So it's very helpful. I often say to clients, people that I'm guiding through their own projects, to just sleep on it because then the next day you'll be fresh and you'd be surprised how much you can solve just by resting and stepping away from it. And also this lets me think of my project as a whole. And I think it's very good to step back and look at the big picture of your project quite often because you can start to see if the scope is too big and if you need to make any edits. And also, because I do narrative, sometimes the story is evolving as I'm building and creating the characters and recording the dialogue, recording the music. I start to think, oh, I kind of see this a little bit shifting this way. I never shift too far from the main idea, but it's those small details that really make a difference that will make your work really stand out from other people is because you've taken that time to really think what each symbol means, what each sound means, and how that's all being brought together. And you really need to step back, take breaks, and not rush in order for that to really come together well. Consistently zooming out from your project will give you a better perspective when you look at that big picture, and you will be able to become a better editor because you'll see what needs to be edited, shifted, changed, and evolved, or pieces that need to be thrown out. And by being a good editor, you create a more focused and cohesive product that's clearer and communicates your main message to your audience much better. And this is why I think you cannot rush an idea. AI can spit out tons and tons of ideas for you and can give you all sorts of different solutions to anything you're working on. But really, it's up to you to bring it all together and be that director of your project. And I think that time and settling down with it is what's really needed. AI never needs to rest and can just keep going and going and going. But are we our minds, or are we also our body and our spirit? And, can we also think from our heart? I think so. I think being a human is more than just being stuck in the mind. That's what AI is doing. AI is stuck in like a mental state. And so you need that, but I think to really get a great product and a really thoughtful experience, you need that human part of yourself to bring it together in a beautiful way. Also in the process, I often ask for help or feedback. It's kind of funny because when I usually ask for help, I end up fixing the issue that I'm asking about anyway. So that's really kind of funny. It reminds me of when I used to work in an office, and whether it was my computer, maybe someone else was having trouble on their computer, As soon as you go to the person's desk or they come to your desk, it's almost like the problem just resolves itself. Like there were little gremlins in your computer and somehow they just went away because the person's energy came over there and just like wiped it away. So I just find that it's really funny. It's like as soon as I ask for help, I'm waiting for maybe the person to get back to me and I end up figuring it out anyway. But also so it's kind of funny. So it's kind of like just by asking, I think it's like it relaxes you. It makes you feel more comfortable, like, oh, I'm going to get help. And then you might just figure it out because you're relaxed. Also, I really like to ask my friends for feedback because after I've been looking at something way too long, I either have made something too difficult and it doesn't have to be that way, or I've made something that's really good or really terrible, but I don't really know after a while unless I ask somebody. So find some friends. Doesn't have to be a lot of people. Just, a couple people you trust, one good person that you trust. It doesn't have to be a lot that can help give you another set of eyes on your project, and you can get out of your mind for a little while. One more thing that is sometimes an issue for me is procrastination. I am very disciplined and love deep work and being focused on a task for a long time. So I tend to not really procrastinate, but I definitely have had my share of resistance to certain things. When a task becomes too hard or I really see something that's going to be challenging for my project, I can get scared and be afraid that I'm going to fail and not be able to accomplish what I'm setting out to do. And then that makes me procrastinate and I get a little bit paralyzed. So what I've learned is to just approach the task that's difficult slowly and really one step at a time. Maybe you're just looking at your project for a few minutes, not even thinking about what you're going to do. You're just looking at it. You're researching on the issue that you need to solve or the interaction you want to do. And really don't think about it. I know that sounds strange because you're working on it, but it's like you just do one small thing to move you forward, but don't think about it. And then do another thing. And it's like as you're doing that, you just get pulled in and you're able to finish. And it starts to get easier and more fun. And then you can kind of be thinking about it. But I feel like if you're really like in your mind really hard about it and overthinking and maybe asking AI all the, I got to solve this, and you're forcing, that's when it's like not going to work and it's going to really, the resistance is going to come. So I think it's more like not being worried about the outcome and just like resting into it and start going slowly and it'll work. I promise. A lot of people would say that this is a balancing act. Like when you hear, you got to balance work and life. Well, I don't know if you ever really can, because I just think, especially if you're really passionate about what you're doing or you're a freelancer or you work from home, often I find that my project just starts to creep into all areas of my life and I don't even realize it. So you really need that awareness of when it is starting to creep in and you are maybe not making as many home cooked meals as you would like, or you're not sleeping as well, you're not exercising. You might not even notice, because I've been like in situations where, oh, if I just take one more hour on this, I'm going to figure it out. And then 3 hours later, I still haven't figured it out and I'm hungry or I'm angry because I didn't exercise, my eyes hurt or whatever, And so you got to like know when to stop. And I think it's just practice, honestly. With all the other tips and like ideas I was talking about today, I just think it takes practice to get that awareness and to see, ooh, yeah, I probably should just take a break. Luckily, I have cats that have internal food timers, and every day at around 4 to 5, they start hovering around me, and one cat, Anash, likes to just stare at me, start meowing, start, moving things and knocking things over to get my attention because he wants food. And it gets me to get up and start making them food. I'm away from my computer, and then often I start making myself dinner. So that's really a good thing to have that little, those two little timers in my house help me. So if there's a way you can sort of build any kind of routine, and that's a creative way for me to have that as part of my routine. It does break up my day. And maybe if I'm not leaving my office, I guess the thing that could mark the end of my day is my cat's crying for dinner. So after I took those 2 days to really delve into sketching out those designs and getting frustrated, and then doing the different exercises from that course I was taking, I took another day to kind of let it all sit and worked on some other things. And finally, by the time Friday came, I got to my computer and I actually solved one of the interactions I wanted to do. And I really liked how it turned out and got started on the second one. And these are both different ways to interact with a book. I cannot wait to polish them further and show you more in a future video. And one where you're at the desk and you're turning the pages of a bigger book. I really got that in a nice place, but there will be a lot more customization that needs to happen. And then for the bookshelf interaction with that book, that does have a lot of steps. So I have to think of the best way to make that a really fun interaction without requiring the player to have to do a lot. So that's going to take me some time. But I think if I can quickly get the prototype ready, I can do some testing, and then I'll know where I need to go with it. And then I can really fine tune it and get some fun interactions together. I can't wait to show you. This culture is a little crazy with all the hustling and achievement, and I need to get somewhere and I gotta promote my work. Sometimes you just need to stop and think, where am I going? And give yourself permission to rest and be human. Thank you, friends, for watching, and to all of my subscribers and supporters. It means so much to me that you support this channel. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to this channel, and I look forward to talking with you next time.